Previously on TVSins.
Did they give you an anal probe?
What's up with anal probing? I mean, aliens travel billions of light years just to check out our...
Boy, move.
Calendaring.
Space. It seems to go on and on forever. But then you get to the end and the gorilla starts throwing barrels at you.
Exchange barrels with decorative pillows, and that is exactly how my college girlfriend described our first time having sex. Also, what a dumb game. I've always hated gorillas throwing barrels because gorilla somehow has one R and two L's when barrel has two R's and one L. Correct English spellings are hard.
Hey, Fry, pizza going out. Come on!
Who knew that Sam Raimi ripped off the Futurama pilot for his opening to Spider-Man 2? The judgy McJudgersons sitting at table 2 are drinking wine right next to an arcade game called Monkey Fracas Jr. Glass house much? I've spent 3 minutes wondering if this flesh-colored mitten was a strange anatomy oversight, and now I can't get that time back. Active cryogenic equipment left unmanned in an unlocked room is believable. Opening this style door without using your ass-cheek or elbow to trigger the handle is unfathomable.
I always thought by this point in my life, I'd be the one making the crank calls.
Is there a point in which someone achieves crank call status? I thought the qualification was having a phone and knowing how to dial anonymously.
Here's to another lousy millennium.
Wrong! Since there was no year zero, the millennium didn't actually start until 2001. Unless, of course, you're just saying someone's getting ready to play that one Robbie Williams track again, then carry on. 10! Obviously, it wouldn't be midnight in all these places at the same time, but what if it was? All I'm saying is, on a technologically advanced planet, we should have done away with time zones a long time ago. It's called universal time. It's absolutely brilliant, and we will never do it because humans hate change. So really, this is a sin for all of us. Damn it! At least get the positioning of the Earth right. How is it supposed to be midnight in New York City when the sun just rose in LA? It's like noon there, according to this. Seriously, this is literally as far away as New York could get from midnight as possible. They want us to think Fry falls backward into a cryogenic chamber. However, given where the chair landed, Fry successfully executed a backward vertical vault somersault without spilling his drink, and that is severely underplayed. Note to future cryogenics experts, the automatically setting cryo time frame of 1,000 years may lack a bit of wisdom. Aliens destroy New York not once, but twice, and decide to spare the applied cryogenics building? Good to know plot convenience isn't just an Earth thing. Also, New York's power plants would have been destroyed, so how are the cryo chambers even keeping cool? Also, during the re-medieval times, this building would have stood as a worship-worthy monolith to be explored and revered. Anyone emerging from a cryopod during those years would have been considered a godlike being and shaped the future. Where is that story? Wait, is this where disenchantment comes from? New York drivers.
Have a nice future.
These guys are surprisingly casual considering Fry used a chamber without permission or pay.
Good afternoon, sir.
I'm no expert on cryogenic re-entry protocol, but having a human do the initial eval and explanation about aliens living among us might smooth things out, right? Probes often cause unexpected secretion spatter, so while her use of protective eye gear is to be applauded, she forgot to cover her mouth. That, my probulatant friends, is disturbing and unsanitary. How does this freezer keep turning its own knob when someone gets thrown into it? I hear if you turn your own knob too much, you go blind.
You've got to the count of 5 to let me out of here.
Why would a society with 3 fingers and 1 thumb use this saying? Good thing these technologically advanced cryogenic chambers operate just like a toaster oven, so Fry can help Leela out. Also, I'm glad Fry decided not to be a dick and leave it set to 1,000, but did he have to go back to only 5 minutes? She'd be fine after a day, right? Even an hour? You might as well just set it to the automatic let her out quickly so the shenanigans can continue setting. Standards and practices. Since everyone seems to move through these tubes at different speeds and come from different locations, how do people not hit each other all the time? At the very least, there would be human centipede traffic jams constantly. Civilization has been rebuilt twice, and quarters still exist? Where did the dead people go? We saw a few go into the suicide booth but not come out. For a booth that stabs, hacks, and electrocutes people, it is lacking in discarded parts and leftover gooey bits. And you know a deceased people shoot is the most effective way to eliminate bodies, so how are Bender and Fry not riding down a horror slide right now?
America's favorite suicide booth since 2008.
That's funny as hell, but this show seems to keep forgetting how New York City's been destroyed twice since 1999, and would therefore have no way of keeping any kind of nefarious business running that long.
Oh no, it's the Cyclops. Don't look, don't look!
I could easily point out how convenient Leela is convenient, but instead I think I'll try to figure out how they're in a bar on New Year's Eve in New York that isn't packed to the gills.
We share our wisdom with those who seek it. It's a life of quiet dignity.
Also, it allows the show from 1999 to make relevant pop culture references, even though the show is set in the year 3000.
Feeding time!
This feeding time joke brings up so many questions about these head cases. Why would the heads need to eat with no stomach? How do the nutrients get into the blood? How does the blood flow through to the brain? Where does the oxygen come from? How can they be heard so clearly underwater? And most importantly, if you present one as a gift, does that mean you're giving head? You gotta love how this show finds a way to put put 2 Grover Cleveland heads here. It makes no logical sense, but great comic logical sense. And I'd remove a sin for it. Except some of these presidents, why would you bother digging them up to put their heads in jars? Does anyone really want Andrew Jackson's head spouting out any kind of wisdom?
You just made my list.
Bad Richard Nixon impression in a comedy cliche. They ran into the Hall of Criminals, but found a dead end. Is this a deep metaphor, or does the word hall mean something different in the future? Also, why go through all the trouble of preserving criminals and not label them?
If someone programmed you to jump off a bridge, would you do it?
I'll have to check my program.
There's plenty of reasons to subtract sins here. The incredible voice work, the hilarious jokes, but I'm going with the fact that, like The Simpsons before it, this show is at its best when it gets its heart on. And this episode's consistent theme of choosing your own purpose is exactly the kind of heart on I'm talking about. Bender can also apparently bend the space-time continuum, because somehow we've gone back to a time where those bars behind him are still in place.
What is this?
It's the decaying ruins of old New York.
A cutscene from AI artificial intelligence somehow makes its way into this episode. Rockefeller Center, Comcast Building, Comcast.
My God, she's gone. Everyone I ever knew or cared about is gone. I've got no home, no family.
No friends.
I want to feel for you, Fry, but just hours ago when you realized everyone was gone, you exclaimed,
Yahoo!
A turn like this can only mean one thing: impending cycloptic emotional connection.
I understand.
Is that it?
My parents abandoned me here as a baby.
And...
I don't even know what galaxy they were from.
ding ding!
I'm the only one-eyed alien on this whole planet.
You're the only one-eyed alien too, Leela. Wait,
I don't want to spoil the party, but we're all job deserters now.
Leela just met Bender, so how would she know that Bender is also a job deserter?
That solves the mystery of the missing ring. This calls for a drink.
This doesn't solve the mystery of why Bender is drinking differently here than he was at the bar.
We're unemployed, but we have a doddering old relative to mooch off of.
Millennials.
Hello, I'm Dick Clark's head.
Ah, a 1999 show that is blissfully unaware of Ryan Seacrest, and therefore the year 3000 is blissfully unaware too. For making me imagine this world and making me sad, like those people who got upset about Pandora not being real, I'm giving this a sin. But it's an honorary sin removal. We're just adding one this time. Wait a minute, they repaired his jar rather than putting him in a new one? Remember that Leela is just a cartoon, remember that Leela is just a cartoon, remember that...
If they try to take off, give them an ass full of laser.
Pop quiz, ass full of laser was also A, the short-lived laser tag business I started. B, where my college girlfriend went for hair removal. C, what happened when my LASIK surgery went very, very wrong. Or D, the name of the death metal cuddlecore hybrid band I managed in the 4th grade.
New crew? Or what happened to the old crew?
Perhaps the better question is where Bender found this space cigar. Sure, we can assume it came from his stomach cabinet, which acts as some sort of bag of holding. But it is far more likely that this is a couch cigar, and believe me, you should never smoke anything you find from the cushions of a couch, let alone a space couch. You're welcome. Episode does not contain a Zoidberg.
And you're alive?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh no, it's the Cyclops.
Prove it. You're a dick. Okay.
There's an old Vulcan proverb. Only Nixon could go to China.
Come on, Bender.
You can do it!
And over there is my intergalactic spaceship.
I'm an alligator.